Falling in Reverse have returned with a brand new single called All My Women. An interesting title, to be sure. This is the follow-up to God Is a Weapon, which came out like 2 months ago. The surprise collaboration with Marilyn Manson I was not expecting, but it does kind of make sense. They're having sort of similar, well, they've had similar arcs, one could say. Both figures in this particular song, in that song, are controversial. I will say, I did end up really liking that song. It's... Say what you like about Ronnie, I do think he's really quite a good songwriter, and he's got an impeccable voice, and for the most part, his music videos are also quite interesting to look at. I don't know, I'm so scared whenever I talk about Ronnie, because I don't want to be too inflammatory, because I went from not really knowing who he was, but having sort of vaguely bad opinions based on sort of like not a whole lot, to becoming massively obsessed with the album they released last year with... specifically the song All My Life just took me by surprise, and I obsessed over that to the point where I could no longer ignore him. I kind of like tried my best to inform myself on what it is he's sort of like, you know, done and controversial over the years, and I think for the most part, I'm going to try and keep it brief. My take is yes, kind of a dick. I don't think he helps himself whenever he talks about this stuff. Like, I literally just watched the video he put out where he's talking about how he just lost his lawsuit to Anthony Fantano. Don't get me wrong, I don't particularly like Anthony Fantano either, but I just the delivery, he does come across like a pissed off 15-year-old. Fantano mentioned that Ronnie has thrown multiple mic stands into crowds and like hurt people quite badly over the course of his lifetime. His response was just, and I'll do it again, because I guess he didn't have a good answer for that one. Anyway, my point being, I think he probably is kind of a dick, but I do like his music. Hopefully I haven't just alienated like everybody who has clicked on this video, but yeah, he's got this new song, All My Women. I'm curious, though, are these two just random standalone singles? Because the tour that they're about to go on is the God Is a Weapon tour, so I'm assuming, obviously, that song's a big part of it, but we only had an album like last year. I guess, to be fair, I mean, I'm a comparatively new fan to Falling in Reverse, but I guess they actually have just spent quite a long time releasing songs like very slowly. Like if I'm not mistaken, Zombified came out like quite a long time before the rest of that album, etc., etc. So I guess maybe it's just one of those things he kind of writes and records and has collaborations and releases them as and when, which is, yeah, no, I mean, I respect that. I quite like artists that do that, and then, you know, every now and then you put out an album, the album's got maybe 2-3 new songs on it, and it's more of a collection of work than it is anything else. So that's cool. But I've also noticed this song is featuring a man called Hardy, who I have never heard of before. So who is this Hardy man? Michael Wilson Hardy, known as Hardy, all-American country singer, songwriter, written songs for a bunch of people I don't know apart from Morgan Wallen. Talking of dickheads, he's released a bunch of albums. Okay, so it's so weird that country is having such a massive revival at the moment. I mean, this is somebody who has liked country music for a while. I mean, I don't like live and breathe it, but you know, when one comes along, I like the odd twang of a banjo. That has been something I've liked for a while, but it's so weird. All the kids are like really into, like, you know, sort of like 17 to 20-year-olds are like flocking to this like country pop revival, which, you know what, I mean, I don't mind that. As versions of modern pop go in terms of iterations and sort of genres that are inspiring it, country is definitely up there for me in terms of sort of, yeah, genres I prefer, but it is quite strange how that's come around. I wonder if I'd recognize any of his songs. Let's have a listen. Hardy. If I search that up, is that going to get him? Yes. Truck Bed. Oh, wait, no. Jim Bob. Why not? Let's see Hardy, Jim Bob for a second. Don't care. Don't care. I just want to hit the song. Here we go. Interesting. This is heavier than I thought it was going to be already, just based on that little guitar flick. When does it turn into a country song? Okay. So, based on this very, very small sample, it seems more like a kind of metal-y type thing with a country delivery on the vocals. Okay, I actually like that a lot more than I thought I was going to. I'll stop there, so this is not a video about Hardy, it's a video about Falling in Reverse. But yeah, okay, fine. That has actually got quite a lot of stylistic similarities with Falling in Reverse I was not expecting, so I guess this actually makes sense as a collaboration as well. Cool, okay, well, I think I probably waffled enough, so let's jump in. and listen to All My Woman featuring Hardy. And based on the thumbnail, also some puppets. Nice, okay. I already like where this is going video-wise.
I fell in love with a crazy bitch. She fucked me good. She's a lunatic.
There's a couple of things right out the gate. To start with, I don't know why, but just those lyrics, they're so, like, crass, so straight out of the gate. I mean, again, you kind of got to respect to some degree that he does not care at all about what he's saying. This intro is also quite similar so far to All My Life, which is not a bad thing, because I happen to really like All My Life, but kind of like falling down and singing down with a picky guitar bit underneath. Kind of makes sense, I guess. But yeah, no, I like the puppets. This is going to be a fun video. I can see like that. You got to give him credit. They're always original with these videos. And him with the sort of like massive sideburns doing a kind of country Elvis-y thing. Kind of fun too. You definitely can't level at him that he's not willing to make himself look a bit silly.
And that's only the beginning. She's my future as well. And we're moving real fast. She's got me by my balls. She's a pain in my ass.
What is going on? Just everything about this song is like kind of simultaneously quite catchy and really confusing. To start with, not a huge fan of them using like she's an annoying ex-girlfriend because she keys feminism into my car. I think that's a fairly not great way of displaying that personally, but whatever. But then the song kind of reminds me, I don't remember the name of it now, but there's that one song my girlfriend showed me where he's like, oh god, it's very early Falling in Reverse, I think, where they're all like school guys, school kids, and it's all very like kind of like power pop type thing. It's kind of got that almost with the way that the vocal delivery is. It's quite poppy in that regard, but then it's got this kind of like acoustic line pinging through it. His voice is obviously very good. I'm intrigued is probably the word we're looking for here. Yeah, it's definitely got some All My Life vibes in it, but that is kind of quite appealing to me. Those harmonies in the background are so tight and very, very well mixed that you can't argue that this is clean as shit just across the board. And of course, we've got a na-na-na-na bit. There he is. Okay. I quite like the shift in rhythm going on with this Hardy verse here. I can't quite put my finger exactly on what happened. I think the drums, did they go double time? Or the drum beat has changed underneath this same riff to try and add a bit of variation there, which I actually do respect quite a lot as a way of making the sort of featuring verse a little bit more interesting. So that's kind of cool. And they're both jumping around as puppets. I can't quite figure out the relevance of the puppets. Maybe there isn't one. That's okay. I mean, this must have been quite fun to film, like, even with the extras and so on and so forth. They just had a lynching scene with a puppet. That's cool. They get to recreate The Shining. Also kind of cool. I find the chorus to be not as grabbing as it could be, maybe? I don't know. It does, again, I'm now making this comparison to All My Life, but it does feel like a slightly worse version of that. I don't like Hardy's voice as much as I like Jelly Roll's in terms of collaboration stuff. And the lyrics are, like, fine, right? I get where they're coming from. It's the kind of thing that's like just about incendiary enough that lots of like super liberals are probably going to get pissed off by it. But it's not so bad that really they probably should be getting too crazy about it and it's going to spurt. I mean, you can't argue with the fact that being controversial gets you clicks. But yeah, I can see it feels like it's almost perfectly aimed to piss off people just enough to get them talking. It's just that it's so crass. It's kind of funny. Just, she's got me by my balls. It is interesting, but this sort of like fusion of genres on this one is also quite strange. It's like, yeah, it's like kind of pop country metal-y all at once. Kind of like doesn't quite lean too much into any of them. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, it's following the same structure. We're just going to get a second version of this chorus this time with some slightly more soaring overdubs over the back. Now you've got like a constant going on there, which is nice, I guess. It's predictable is probably a good way of putting that to some degree, but it's fine. If it's a formula that ain't broke, then don't fix it. Oh, you find a little puppet girl. Well, the video was definitely very high budget, quite entertaining. You know, Ronnie is quite charismatic, regardless of how you cut it. I feel like he suited the leather jacket, kind of like Elvis-y thing. That was a cool look. I didn't really enjoy Hardy's contributions all that much, if I'm honest. I liked the variation they had in his verse, but I found his voice to be less appealing. And actually the sort of stuff they did under his verse to try and make it a bit more suiting to his stuff made it feel a bit more like kind of like Naughty's emo, which is like, again, fine, but there's just so many like genres all kind of smushed in together into this 1 3-minute song. So I feel like it maybe felt a little bit loose with where it was actually going. Like it was a bit directionless. It kind of just pulled from all these different places, and sometimes that works really well, and it almost does, and Falling Reverse often do that, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know, that one just didn't quite grab me. I didn't find the chorus to be that engaging. I think it's just the melody itself was fairly repetitive. It was na 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 ba, na, na. I feel like I heard that like a lot. They're relying on a bit of crass humor. That's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, no, that song was like fine, I think. It's definitely not my favorite of theirs that they've released like recently at all. And again, it's just because of his public demeanor, and I'm not like going after him for various things. You know, there's all sorts of like controversies going down back for a long time with him, and some of them I think are completely played out. People have been giving him shit for the same thing for a very long time. That's not where I'm going, but I do think that somebody who has a past like that should probably be slightly more careful with how they present themselves afterwards. I don't think he clearly just doesn't give a f***, and that's fine. Good for him, to be honest. I wish I cared that little, but just it makes it difficult to give him the benefit of the doubt when something even slightly dodgy comes up. I'm like, some of the lyrics to this song are like a little bit, I don't know. I find it's definitely dancing on that sort of like sexist vibe on there a little bit, and I'd be more inclined to give him a pass if it wasn't for the fact that I don't know. He's had a history of saying some shit I don't agree with. But anyway, thank you very much for sticking with me on that one. Sorry to all the massive Falling in Reverse fans. Sorry, Ronnie, I didn't mean to upset you. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about all of this stuff? Let's try and keep it civil as is humanly possible. Just remember, everything I've said today is my opinion, and I'm not trying to enforce it on anybody else. I'm just talking into a camera, into the internet, into you. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.